Folks, hello and welcome to Business 508, Business Analytics. Uh, it is, let's see, it's early on Saturday morning, August 26th, and I wanted to put together a quick video to let you all know that you are the first courses. This fall, we've actually got two sections of Business 508 that are going to run, and you all are the first to take the course after a redevelopment. I've spent about the last 4 months redeveloping the course to incorporate a group project that the business department at Columbia has asked me to include in the course. And what I want to do with this video is I want to basically talk very quickly about the restructure of the course and then hit a couple of key points about this project to make sure that we get off on the right foot and everybody understands what the objective is in order to complete the project. So what I thought I would do first here is show you on the left-hand side under the old, what I'm showing you is the old group of assignments, and then on the right, the new group, along with the grading scale, to make the point that this project that you have is a big deal points-wise. And so, like I said, I want to make sure everybody gets off on the right foot. So over here on the left-hand side where we're looking at the old course format, so we had a weekly discussion, an Excel exercise, an application, one each week. Then there are still 3 blocks in the course. The course is broken up by the types of analytics that we'll look at. The first being descriptive, the second being prescriptive, and then predictive analytics, and then prescriptive analytics. We'll talk a little bit more about those as we get into the course. And then after each block, there was a writing assignment, a lot of compare and contrast and examples, that sort of stuff. And then each block had an exam, and that was the total. That's how you amassed 1,000 points, and that's how you earned your course grade. Over here now, over here under the grading weights, let's see, we just for points sake, we added the plagiarism quiz. I want to make sure everybody understands has read and understands the Columbia College academic honesty policy. That's a big deal. The discussions remain, the Excel applications remain. Notice that the points have been reduced just a bit. The big piece of this is the first exam. Remember, we used to have 3 exams. We now have 2 exams. The first exam happened after week 2, and it was the end of descriptive analytics, which is effectively a review of basic statistics. And I'm going to assume that most of you have had that course somewhere along the lines. So in order to incorporate this project at the point value that the business department wanted, I removed one of the exams, that first exam. So really, you don't even have your first exam until week 6. There'll be one after week 6 and one after week 8, with a lot of emphasis up front on this project. So let's talk about this project first, just at the 1,000-foot view here. The project is worth 300 points. And in order to be successful in the course, you're going to have to do a pretty good job on this project to get, obviously, I think everybody wants to be in this A-B range. So this project means a lot. It means a lot to you, and it means a lot to the business department. So that's why I wanted to take some time to just talk about this real quick. So just real quickly, again, the basics being no more reflections. You'll get plenty of writing in the project. You will not have an exam until week 6. The first couple of weeks will be devoted to really kind of getting grounded in the project and taking some time to review really basic statistics. You'll still have the Excel applications that go along with the first 2 weeks. But again, we're going to focus on getting grounded in this project. So let's talk about the project here just a little bit. This is just a cut and paste from the syllabus. I don't want to, you can read all about it. It's a marketing project. Basically, it requires us to go find some data that would relate to a company or a service or anybody. I don't really care what the company is or the service it is. It could also be, a situation somebody is dealing with at work and maybe has some data that we could bring into the course and analyze. But you are going to go find a company who is having some struggles, has made some data available on the internet that you can use to do some sort of analysis with and come up with a recommendation on how they can improve their bottom line as it relates to the product or the business as a whole, or that sort of idea is open-ended as we go through the project. Let's see. What I have outlined here, and again, this is just a cut right out of the syllabus, is how we build towards this final presentation that really will just be some sort of video that you all put together that can be shared with the course. We're not going to get together and do a Zoom call or something like that. I know that we've got a lot of people here with a lot going on, and we won't do that. But there will be some video presentation that walks through your approach to the project. So what this article summary is, the first thing I want you to do, and I'll make a note of this on the welcome board, is I want you all to start having some discussion between yourselves. And let's see if we can come up with some strengths and weaknesses amongst the groups. Maybe somebody's a really good writer and somebody's really good with analytics and somebody's really good at, kind of pulling the team together sort of thing. What I want to do, I'm not going to establish the teams until probably Wednesday of I believe that's the 30th of August, and that assumes a lot of discussion amongst the groups. Going back to the fact that we do have 2 sections running this fall, I just looked and we have a group of 15 and we have a group of 12. So what I would like to do, I thought that perhaps that we would have groups of 2, but I think what I want to do is I want to go in groups of 3 for this fall, and we'll make sure that those groups are settled up by the close of business on Wednesday night, assuming we can get some good discussion on Monday and Tuesday. But just again, to walk through how we're going to build up to this first thing that I have asked you all to do is, once you set your team, I want you to go out and I want you to find an article that's already been published that sort of does exactly what I'm looking for in the end, and that is understanding a business who's had a struggle. They've taken some survey or they've taken some quantitative financial data from the company, and they've been able to, through some sort of analysis, they've been able to come up with at least a recommendation on how the company may go forward to improve the bottom line. So there's plenty of these articles out there, and what I want you to do is I want you to read through it and understand the approach that somebody else took in order to get through effectively what you're doing here as a project. This is due at the end of week 2. You'll write a quick synopsis. I think it's a 300-word synopsis, again, just to understand and give you an idea how to get through the project from somebody who's done it in a true application. It's not stated in here, but after that, once the group has gone through that writing and again, kind of got an idea of what this looks like, you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to find a problem, you're going to have to find some data. And that's not articulated in here in between step 1 and step 2. But by the end of week 2 as well, what I want is a data collection plan. And these are all described in rubrics. I've just finished up and published the rubrics. So you'll see in there what each one of these mean. What I want to do, again, is just kind of set the stage and make sure everybody's sort of thinking through this. So between week 2 and week 5, you're going to note there's not a lot that I'm asking for from you all. But that's really going to be the important time to start looking at the data, understanding what the data looks like. You will have already gone through the descriptive statistics block, so if you don't remember some of those methods and tools, you will now have those available to really talk amongst your group and understand what's going on in your data. And then as we go through and start looking at some of these tools, from predictive modeling that we get, prescriptive modeling that we get in block 2, and then predictive modeling in let's see, in block 3, which is the last 2 weeks of the course, to kind of get an idea of how you might analyze this data to get the information out of the data that you want to help you move towards this recommendation and then your final presentation. So that's, again, not articulated between week 2 and week 5, but that's exactly what we're going to be looking for. So let's see, from week 5 to week 7, so there's going to be a report that we're going to ask for each week that I would say are going to be at least the 70% solutions on your analysis, your recommendation, and your implementation plan. Because some of this stuff, something that you tell me during week 5 may change during week 6, and what you tell me during week 6 may change during week 7. And I absolutely expect that to happen. But what I want to know, at least preliminarily, is that you are working on your data analysis, that you're working on your pricing strategy, and you're working on your implementation plan. So we don't get to week 8 and we have a catastrophic failure that results in an unfavorable course grade. So again, you can read all about these in the syllabus. You can read all about the expectations in the rubrics. But we'll work towards this final report and final presentation in week 8. Again, once you get to from week 3 to week 8, we will get into prescriptive and predictive analytics, and then you'll have a couple of tests. But I just want to make sure everybody understands the focus on this project. Once you get, really it starts, on Monday when the course opens, but by week 5, everybody ought to have a good idea of how things are going, what things are looking like, and you absolutely have a solid plan on how to get to these 2 final capstones, that being the report and the presentation. So again, I just want to put this together to make sure that everybody understands, if you've talked to somebody about the course in the past, they'll tell you, well, there's, 3 reflections and 3 exams, and then you go open up the syllabus and you find out there's no more reflections, there's this big group project, there's only 2 exams. So I wanted to make sure I explained that, on day 1, so everybody understands, again, what the expectation is, and the fact that this is a group project. And I know, some of you may have, different feelings about group projects, but, that's the direction that I have from the business department, and we're gonna make the best of it, and we're gonna do a great job as teams to get through this. What I want to make sure that I emphasize right up front is any dialogue that you have within the group, since this is a brand new project, if you can share that on the discussion board with everybody else, that would be fantastic. There's one group of 15 and one group of 12, and at the end of the day, we're one group of 15 and one group of 12. But in subsets of either 4 or 5 groups. So whatever you're learning along the way here, one of the things that I'm really concerned about is people being able to find data. And so if you're finding data sets out there, and there's any number from the Columbia Library to, just internet searches as a whole, I just want to make sure everybody has access to those. So I'll get off the stage here. You probably don't want to hear about Business 508 at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. But again, I just want to set the stage, and I'm looking forward to this. And I'm here ready and willing to do whatever I can to make sure everybody has a good time with this project. So take care, and I'll see you on Monday.